Clark said, "No layups in my house," and sent Angel Reese flying like it was a Southwest commercial. That flop had Academy Award winner written all over it. But the refs really looked at that and said, "Yep, that's definitely murder," and gave Caitlyn a flagrant like she pulled a knife out mid-play. And Angel tried to run up on her and said, "You're crazy as fuck. What the fuck are you doing?" And Caitlyn's all like, "This is just basketball. It's either a layup or free throws. Pick one."
It's just a good take foul, you know? If either Angel gets wide open 2 points or, we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a good take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
And just like that, Caitlyn Clark dropped a triple-double, won by 35.
Angel Reese got benched on live TV. And no, this wasn't your typical give the starters a breather situation. This was the kind of benching that makes you glance at the coach and think, "You sure about that move?" But Angel, she didn't sulk. She flipped the script and unleashed full savage mode. Her response? It had reporters blinking in disbelief, fans gasping, and even the Gatorade bottles looking a little uneasy. This wasn't just a reaction. It was a statement. A mic drop dipped in glitter and pure attitude. And what she did next, you're not ready. Buckle up.
Clark and Indiana Fever is currently putting the beats on the Chicago sky. And I'm telling you right now, Angel Reese is furious because she wants to make it her business to beat Caitlyn Clark this year. And I'm telling you right now,
Angel Reese got benched on live television. And no, this wasn't some harmless rotation shuffle or clever tactical move. This was the basketball version of being sent to the corner to reflect on your life decisions. But don't mistake this for your run-of-the-mill sideline spat. No, this was a full-on spectacle. The kind of public moment that unfolds with such poetic drama. You'd swear the sports gods were kicking back with popcorn, sipping tea, and watching ESPN like it's Real Housewives, College. Hoops Edition.
Why, sports supporters? Well, I told you guys there would be a follow-up video on the nuclear fallout. That's exactly what it's been. Over the take foul, as Caitlyn Clark is calling it, and that's a great way to say it. It was a take foul. She was trying to prevent a wide-open layup, although one could argue that she might have missed it anyway, on Angel Reese, and then Angel Reese went absolutely, utterly berserk.
So what sparked the fall of Queen Ree? Oh, just a little something called pure, unfiltered rage, unleashed like a Marvel villain who tore up the script and went rogue. The trigger. None other than Caitlyn Clark. Yes, that Caitlyn Clark, the one whose shooting range extends from Iowa to Saturn, committed a foul, not a tech. Not a flagrant. Just your average, everyday whistle. You know, the kind that happens 16 times a quarter when the court turns into a war zone of flailing elbows and flaming ankles, like someone threw the whole game into a blender set to chaos.
White girl and Caitlyn Clark out here busting that flat out, bro. Triple dub. And I don't want to hear none of that stat pattern stuff, bro. She had a triple double, and that's just the facts, man. That's just the facts. So I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, she fouled her hard, bro. It was a malicious play." Man, that wasn't no malicious play. This is a malicious play. Check it out. What y'all gonna say?
But Angel Reese. Oh no, she didn't just react. She combusted. If the arena had a smoke alarm, the fourth quarter would have been relocated to the parking lot. Let's be clear. This wasn't your standard sports rivalry. This wasn't two elite competitors sharpening each other's game. This wasn't playful joying between pros. This was raw, unfiltered animosity, served with a side of "I hope your sneakers unravel" mid-dribble. The look Angel gave Caitlyn? It could have melted steel. And the energy she brought, it made Godzilla vs. Kong feel like a tea party hosted by Mr. Rogers.
Talk about the hard foul. Caitlyn Clark fouls Angel Reese while going up for a layup. People are making a big deal out of this. And me, I'm looking at it like, look, it was just a hard foul. I don't even think it was flagrant. The only thing that was flagrant was Angel Reese's response, right? How she responded to the hard foul. And obviously you can see there's still a little hate. There's still a little hate out there. But I'm going to say this. WNBA, lean in on this. Lean in.
But here's the real kicker. Reese didn't just scowl from a safe distance. Nope. She beelined straight for Caitlyn like she was trying out for Survivor. Basketball Beef Edition. If body language had a volume knob, Angel's was cranked all the way up to "I got time today." You could practically hear the courtside commentators choking on their popcorn.
Basketball player, refs got it right. Move on.
And Caitlyn, let's just say she had that frozen, "What even is happening?" expression, like someone who just got tackled at a spelling bee. Because honestly, Caitlyn didn't do much, unless simply existing now counts as provocation. Sure, she committed a foul, but Angel reacted like Caitlyn had disrespected her jump shot, her playlist, and her grandmother, all in one sentence. Then came the benching, and not just any benching. The kind where the coach won't even make eye contact. Just that silent nope. I'm not dealing with this. Sit. The crowd went from hype to yikes in 5 seconds flat. Angel didn't even argue. Which, let's be honest, was the scariest part. She sat down with that simmering fury you only see in people who've just been told they can't bring outside snacks into the movie theater. And then came the fallout. Because if you blinked, Twitter exploded. Fans weren't just mad. They were launching digital nukes from every corner of the internet. Angel's own fans were torn between "she's just passionate" and "what in the WWE just happened?" And Caitlyn's fans, they were firing off memes faster than Angel got benched. Suddenly, the timeline looked like a crossover episode between First Take and Maury. Pure chaos, with a side of sports soap opera.
Through your perspective on the flagrant foul, what was the point you were trying to make to her?
It's just a good take foul, you know? Either Angel gets wide open 2 points or, we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a take foul. Every basketball player knows.
And Angel's response, oh, buckle up. She didn't apologize. She didn't backtrack. She doubled down. With the elegance of a freight train and the subtlety of a jackhammer, Angel came for Caitlyn like it was open season. She made one thing painfully clear. This isn't just a rivalry. It's a vendetta. If there's a dartboard in Angel's room, we all know whose face is front and center. You could see it in her posture. In her snarl. In the way she answered questions with the emotional range of a hurricane. This wasn't competitive edge. This was war. If looks could foul, Caitlyn would have racked up 6 and a tech before warm-ups ended. And let's talk punishment. Sure, the NCAA loves to talk about sportsmanship and composure. But let's not kid ourselves. They were watching that clip on loop like it was the teaser trailer for their next PR nightmare. You don't go full scorched earth mid-game, try to verbally vaporize a fellow athlete on national TV, and walk off with a high five and a Gatorade. This isn't the 90s NBA. Reese is in hot water, boiling, scalding. The NCAA is probably assembling a task force right now. Cark is on, clipboards ready, frantically Googling how to discipline a star without tanking March Madness ratings.
Coding this is pure hate, pure hatred for that white girl in India. Excuse me. I need to specify. Sorry. The one that wears 22 in Indiana.
Her coach looked like a man slowly grasping that coaching Angel Reese might require not just basketball expertise, but a master's in conflict mediation and a minor in professional babysitting. The post-game press conference, it had all the enthusiasm of someone trying to explain their browser history to their spouse, awkward smiles stacked deep, followed by the classic corporate fallback line. We'll handle it internally. Translation. I have zero clue what she's going to do next, and I'm praying the league steps in before I have to. Meanwhile, the fans were having their own identity crisis. Half were shouting, she's just passionate, while the other half frantically Googled, can a player get ejected for side-eyeing? And then there were the rest, the popcorn-munching crowd, here purely for the chaos, watching the WNBA transform into a reality show run by drama queens in sneakers. Let's be honest. This wasn't Angel Reese's first emotional spectacle. No, she's been turning basketball games into full-blown soap operas since her NCAA days. She doesn't just play with passion. She plays like someone leaked her diary on the Jumbotron. But last night, that was a whole new level. That was Defcon 1 with a ponytail. A full-on, flip the table, WWE Royal Rumble vibe in a league supposedly governed by officials and rules. She stormed the court like someone just spoiled the finale of her favorite series. And no, this wasn't just competitive fire. This was cartoon villain theatrics. If she'd pulled out a steel chair, nobody would have batted an eye. The only thing missing? A fog machine and a theme song to complete the spectacle. Which, honestly, it almost had.
Players responded there just to that moment. It looked like somebody was coming over, talking with Angel, coaching staff was talking with her to help calm her down, make sure that it didn't escalate any further.
Yeah, I think that it's a little misrepresentation to calm her down. I think emotions were high on both sides, and so I think Angel reacted in a way that any of us would react in a moment.
Because while Angel sat on the bench, Caitlyn kept draining shots like the world around her was on mute. That's right. As one star spiraled, the other soared. You can almost hear the Nike XX scrambling, hurriedly reworking their ad campaigns. Maybe it's time to dial back the grit and lean into good old-fashioned sportsmanship. Meanwhile, sports analysts are losing their minds. Is Angel Reese now a liability? Is Caitlin Clark suddenly the mature one in the room? Do we need a therapist on the sidelines? Everyone's got an opinion. Half sound like conspiracy theorists, the other half like over-the-top reenactments straight out of an ESPN soap opera nobody asked for. And you just know the backstage drama is absolute perfection. Teammates tiptoeing around like they're in a haunted house, coaches crafting apologies like they are writing breakup texts, PR teams in full meltdown mode, and somewhere, a group chat blazing with chaos. But the biggest L of the night? That's on Angel herself. Because, let's be honest, no matter how skilled you are, no matter how many rebounds you grab or points you put up, if the highlight of your night is a tantrum and a wooden bench, the memes are going to take the crown every single time.
Caitlin Clark become the fastest player in WNBA history to have 3 triple-doubles. Besides it getting a little bit spicy with her and Reese, what did you like that you saw from Clark?
Speaking of spicy, right? I think that was just a no free buckets foul. Now, it was a hard one, and I think the refs did their job, and I'm glad we could focus on the court. But Caitlin Clark, she came in this season as the MVP favorite for 2025. And even though it's one game, you can see that it may not just be all talk. She had a triple-double, as you mentioned, 20, 10, and 10. And you can see 2 things happening. Playing with vets like DeWanna Bonner and Natasha Howard, it allows her to not constantly be doubled or triple teamed.
Versus Clark, it went ahead. Let's check out as we pick up early in the second. Angel Reese, she's been working on that jumper, and it's good. Some respect on it. Sky down 3 under 10 left now. Clark finds her spot, and it's a green bean. CCB buzzer. And then check this out on the Sky bench. Angel Reese, like, man, come on, man. Jade, Fever up by 13 at the break. Third quarter. Watch Reese under the hoop here. After the miss, this is what everyone's talking about. She gets a rebound, and then Clark comes in with a hard foul. Reese has to be held back as Aaliyah Boston steps.
And let's not fool ourselves. This isn't disappearing anytime soon. Angel's meltdown is now etched in 4K glory. It's viral on TikTok, lighting up Twitter, and even popping up in your uncle's group chat. Her face caught mid-scream, mid-lunge, mid-drama. That's already on t-shirts and destined to haunt highlight reels for the next decade. You can bet the ESPN graphics team is working overtime, desperately hunting for a frame where she doesn't look like she's summoning a demon with pure spite. Meanwhile, Caitlin's probably somewhere cool and collected, sipping water, updating her LinkedIn with titles like expert in de-escalation and professional target of unwarranted hate. You could tell by the way she didn't even glance back at Angel that this wasn't new. This feud has been simmering beneath the surface for months, maybe even years, and now it's boiled over like instant ramen on a college dorm hot plate. But here's the real kicker. This entire mess could have been avoided. This could have been a great game. A moment for both athletes to shine. Instead, we got a live-action soap opera with fewer plot twists than patience. Angel's fire could have ignited the scoreboard. Instead, it just burned her own bench.
Tensions didn't get too high after the play. Now, with this play, they did call a flagrant 1 on Caitlin Clark. They said that it was unnecessary contact on the play. But I immediately knew, I was like, oh crap, this is going to be something that goes viral. A bunch of people are going to talk about it. People are going to make it into something bigger than it needs to.
So now the big question, what's next? Will she get suspended, fined, or sent off to a meditation retreat with Phil Jackson and a bag of incense? Will the NCAA sweep it under the rug because drama equals ratings? Or will they use Angel as a cautionary tale for every player who thinks passion means going full Terminator, mid-game? Time will tell. But one thing's clear, Angel Reese might have superstar talent, but last night she showed the impulse control of a YouTube comment section. And that's not just bad for her career, it's bad for the sport. Because at some point, the drama has to end, and the basketball needs to start. Until then, enjoy that bench, Angel. You've earned the view, and don't forget the irony, the cosmic joke written in all caps across the hardwood. Angel Reese, who once crowned herself the ultimate competitor, the unshakable enforcer, the queen of trash talk, just talked herself right out of the game. It's the sports equivalent of declaring checkmate, only to realize you've been playing Connect 4 the whole time. Now her supporters are scrambling like a conspiracy theory subreddit. She's misunderstood. She's just emotional. The media is twisting the narrative. Oh please. The media didn't twist a thing. The cameras were rolling.